Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Plain Truth. This is kind of along the same line. Over in Ferguson, you've got this race baiting going on. That's all it is. It's race baiting. People are going over there and they're stirring up hatred. Well, hatred doesn't come from God. Hatred comes from the devil. And who's ever in the middleman for that, it'd be interesting to see if what other places they've stirred up such terrible trouble. They want to get the people to hate each other, have this class warfare in the United States. It's sad. And you can't just say, well, look it, you were a honky, and therefore that's your viewpoint. Baloney. I was in the seminary for a while, and I thought to myself, you have to treat everybody the same. When I was in the Army in 1958, they wanted to railroad one of these corporals, black corporal. I wouldn't go along with it. Boy, was I always less than a black person as far as they were concerned. They tried to railroad me out of the Army. Then there was Ralph Locher, my mayor. I was all for him, but my state representative, Carl Stokes, ran. And Carl Stokes I liked him. I still like him. And he ran against him and won. So then, therefore, in the fall, at the college, St. John College, I went down there and I spoke up for Carl Stokes. I said, well, you keep on doing all these good things for helping out Catholic education. Oh, he said, yes, he would. And they said, well, what do you have a question for Mr. Taft? Because Taft was a Republican running against him. Oh, I said, oh, yes. Mr. Taft, will you try to do as much for Catholic education as Carl Stokes? And, of course, that brought down the House, but I spoke up for Carl Stokes. He was the first black man for a large city. Then also there was this Leotis Harris. He ran for Congress, and he was the first black man who was going to be running for Congress. He was a congressman. No other congressman, as far as I know, at least from our area over here, ever ran. So Leotis Harris ran as a Republican. I campaigned for him. I got in trouble for that too, kind of, but I spoke up for him. So I've been speaking up for people, not because of their race or against their race. I've been speaking up what is fair and just. When there was a black youngster that was supposedly missing and kidnapped, I called the FBI. I called the police. The police wouldn't do anything, so the police can't do anything for 24 hours. I figured, well, he'd be out of the state by then. So I called the FBI, and the FBI came over there to where I was teaching at, and the assistant principal come running up to the office. He said, you got to come down. The FBI wants to talk to you. I said, okay, I'll talk to you when I get done with the class. He said, go now. I have to go now. So I went down there. They said, okay, what did you do? And I said, well, the city wouldn't do anything. I wanted to protect the kid, to make sure he'd be all right. So I've taught 27 years, 17 years in the inner city, and never once was I accused of racially bias, and never once, well, for 41 years in both public and private, I was a disciplinarian. Yes, I was the bad guy. I was kind of like the father that had to enforce the discipline, but never could they ever accuse me of racism. Thank you very much for watching Plain Truth.